Greetings, technology enthusiasts. I am Chandrahas and I am delighted to be here with you representing CyberBrainer. Do you not believe that the technology sector is advancing at an unprecedented rate, making this an opportune moment to acquire the skills that will facilitate your progress? With CyberBrainer, we are empowering you to take control of your own future. At CyberBrainer, we do not merely impart your interests. We assert that information is power, yet it is the application of knowledge that distinguishes you. Our courses are meant to equip you with essential skills, whether you are pursuing data science, understanding artificial intelligence, or delving into cybersecurity. Let us commence the session and seize the future today. Thank you.
In Advanced app, you can try this optimized performance that you will be able to see the difference. For example, right now you can't see a relationship field, right? But when you will uncheck this, then you will be able to see that relationship, field. Then you can try this enable save parameters. This is something you can try. This is a web service thing. This is something we'll cover in the EB, what this namespace is, and what is the use of, this thing and all. I think you have not enabled this as a web service. That's fine. We will discuss, what this is, because if I enable that, I am getting an error. That's why I disabled that. That is another question. That is something let me try right now. That is something we can try, and then we will proceed with the next topic. Can I copy this report instead of doing everything again? Definitely. See here, this is your report. Here, if you go to related action, you will be able to copy this report. You will get an option, in custom reports. See, there is one option, copy. This is what we are going to discuss, today. And then we will proceed with the next topic. Lakshmi, see here, I just clicked on, this. Yes, I just checked this checkbox. It did not give me any error. But let's say when you are trying, if that is giving you error, then just try to, capture the screenshot of that error. Show. That error will, help me to understand, like at that point of time, what exactly you were facing. Now I have enabled, this report. As a web service, you can do the, rest of the, activities. I will do it. All good. Right? I mean, if anybody is having any question, then I can take that. Otherwise, I'll just proceed with the next things. Ganesh, go to columns. One sec. Column. Below we have the one option, right? A group column headings. Can you please explain that one? Actually, I'm getting error. Here I'm not giving any business object. We are getting error. If we need to add one more business object in the columns, we can add in this part, also in the business object also. See what actually we need to understand here is, see, this is primarily business object worker. Whatever fields you will add from primary business object, it has nothing related to this group column heading, because when the data will be generated, then everything will be on worker, and this is a single instance field. Single instance, business object, there will be just one instance for each and every input in this worker, business object. Now this is a dependent. This is a related business object. One worker can have multiple dependents. To group all the dependents for one worker, there is a group column heading. How it will be? It will be like, let me Let's see. I mean, there is, employee A1. One employee A1 is having 3 dependents. D. And then there is another employee A2. And that A2 is also having, 2 dependents. At 2D. A D2. 2 dependents. Here, for this one, this is 3 dependent, and for A2 there is 2 dependents. See there always, when you will say for a primary business object, there will be a 2 dependent. There will be one instance. You will say one instance. Here, if you see, if there are 3 dependents, you are getting 3 rows in the record. All those dependents belongs to a one only. This requires grouping. Like all these 3 rows are grouped based on dependents. That's why we need a different column heading. When actually all these things, when you will enable the report as a web service, and when you want that report to be used by another system, that helps them to understand like all these 3 dependents are for employee A1. That is something we will see when we will enable the report as a web service, and we will generate XML and we will do the transformation. There you will be able to understand, mainly how exactly this works. But mainly you can understand for one related business object. It is grouping. It's not grouping like D1, D2, D3. The grouping is like C for dependents. There is first name. Let's say first name, last name, then date of birth and gender. This is dependent business object fields. Now you have another field for employee. This is employee. Employee also can have first name and then last name. Employee can have first name and last name. Here, see, in report I added first name, last name for employee. And then I added first name, last name, date of birth, gender for dependents as well. All these fields will be grouped. All these fields will be grouped. All these fields will be grouped under dependents. How it will be treated? As it will be, see, if you need to fetch employee name, then it will be like A1 dot first name. A1 first name. AIM first name. This is employee name. But when you need to fetch dependent first name, then it will be like D1 first name. And similarly D2 first name. Similarly, it will be for last name. Basically, there is a difference. We are using the same field, but there is a difference, right? Understand the difference is like now this is a primary business object and this is a related business object. That means this is coming from some different business object and we need to refer that different business object. That is why, we generally use group column heading. I understood. You will. If we add another related business object, we have to add that as well, right? Like location or something. Here, let me check. Not sure what exactly we have done here. Let me show you, one more view. And then, you will be able to understand that as well. I just wanted to just to make sure my understanding is like Ganesh, instead of putting like individual first name, last name for dependents, D2, D3, it's everything is in one place. That's why you create that group, that all the dependents values will be in one place, right? That's what I'm showing. I mean when I'll run the support, you will be able to visualize. Let me just run this. There are two data. See, here is the employee. This is the employee row. This will be same for all these three. And here see whatever fields you have used from dependents. All those fields are grouped. If you need to refer, see this field can be referred directly as employee ID. But if you need to refer this field legal name, first name, then you need to refer as dependent's legal name, first name. There will be navigation. If this is a direct field, this is a navigation navigated field. You can understand it. Like if you need to face this legal name first name, then you need to go to dependent first. This is the first folder. This is the home of this field. You need to enter in this dependent form, then only you can enter the the room which says legal name first. That's why we generally, if you add another related business object, then you need to add another, group column heading. And that will define, that will give you all the fields which is extracted from that related business object. This is what grouping means. See this dependence. All these four fields are grouped under dependence. The primary business object will not be grouped. And one more thing. See here, when you run the record, when you will click on this, it will give you, filtering options. You can add something and you can filter. But in related business object, you won't be able to see that thing. You won't be able to, experience that. See here, when I click, I don't see any option. There is no option at all. This option is a different one. But the grouping is something you understand. Like whatever fields we are adding from related business object that needs to be grouped under one umbrella. And the group column heading is creating that umbrella for the related business object fields. Are you clear now? The one more here, this is grouping here. You can see in the record. But this is something you will, experience when you will actually start creating Excel transformation. For example, if you enable this report as a web service, whatever data you are able to see here, that will be generated in XML format. And in that XML format, what you will see is there will be, one employee. There will be employee ID first name, last name, I had it. That will be a direct field. And this will come as a, nested, something like nested fields. And anyways, I had to show you that one as well. And then we will go with this option. Let me do something. Did you guys receive credential of this account? Like username and ID? Maybe not. Let me create. I'm going to use your report only. It's very much simple. You can see all these things, but this is something I'll explain. Later what exactly I'm creating and all. And this is something you are going to create. Every time, whenever you create a new integration in the system, and also guys, if you think like, I'm just speaking too fast sometimes, then just let me know, like when I need to slow down. Sometimes it's like, something is going on my head and I just want to wrap up things very quickly. I do that. But you guys let me know, whenever you face that kind of issues. Do we have any theoretical portion in this or no? Like in integrations. In integration, you know there will be a little bit theoretical. Mostly you need to remember everything, the steps and all. But you know we will. Gradually we will go in a technical space now. Till here you understood the objects, business object, data sources and what are the items we have, right? Next will be, after this from tomorrow onwards, we will start, discussing calculated bills. There, some technical stuff will start and gradually we will move into, pure technical stuff. There also, 50 to 60% will be configuration only 4% will be coding. That will be accessibility transformation. And one more request, could you please provide some scenarios like some tasks that I know? Definitely it's a training. But if we do something by our own, then only we will feel that we are learning something. Right now, whatever you are telling, we are just, copying and doing right. Actually, those are the activities. Whatever I give you the activity, those are the activities. Workday generally gives. See, the thing is right now, you are in a very initial phase, right? I can give you, say, real-time scenarios. I can't give you because for that one many terminal losses will come. But gradually I'll let you know those things as well. Right now, whatever I'm giving to you guys, those are kind of, Workday activities, which we generally did in the training part. But I'll help you with. Other things as well, like in real time. What is the use of all this thing? What is the use of reports and all? When we will talk about the EIB integrations, then you will start getting those real time scenarios. Since then, you're going to be the engine's engine. If you want to small you, it's been able to Thomas. Have space, and then you want to attend to your. Thank you. 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 I think you guys are getting interactive. At least. Ganesh, where are you from? I mean, I keep, moving. I mean, every month. I used to be in different place here in India. Oh, which is your proper place? Basically, my base location, for my office is Pune. Currently, I'm here in Kolkata, and sometimes like here and there. Oh, we're in Pune, Ganesh. Oh, we're in Pune, Ganesh. In Pune, Hingevadi. One or two like which? Hingevadi phase 2. Oh, phase 2. My house. Can you hear from Pune? No, I am from like north side, but like right now other. Like my dad, I'm based in Pune. Like I'm, I mean, I was there in Pune, earlier. My place located is Pune only, but I mean, after Corona, Nodi asked me to come to office, and I really don't want to go to office. It's all look like. You can work from anywhere. Your native place is Kolkata? No, no, my native place is Bihar. Oh, really? Where in Bihar? Bihar. I mean, have you heard the name Bodhgaya? But I am from Bihar. I think Charlie is connected with everyone. Because my birthplace is Ramsherpur. But I got married like a guy is my husband, Nanihal, whatever. Where exact? I mean in Gaya. Guy exactly. I don't know. I don't like remember because I went only one time because my husband's place is Jahanabad, if you heard about that. I, that's in between Gaya and Patna. I was like moving here and there. That's why I know more like I was in Pune like almost 10 years and then Bihar and Chatan is like where I born in contact place. That's why I know all the places. You are coming here with every place. Now let's see. Actually what I was, doing. I was creating one integration system user. Integration system. User is kind of, virtual account you can see. And you know that it could be provide some particular access to that account. That account can access data from the report. That account can access integration events. And that account can run integration in the system. Whenever we create anything in Workday, we generally, use to transfer ownership to that virtual account. I see we call that integration system user. We are going to discuss that in detail. And I'll let you know like how exactly we can create and how exactly we identify the security which we need to add here. I have experience. I remember, domain names. I simply, directly added and, completed it. But when you need to create, how exactly you will be able to find the security. That is something I will let you know. Here, we're coming back to your question. Here, if you see, not sure whether you're familiar with this thing. This is Excel language. Whenever two systems talks over internet, they used to talk in this language. This is one of the language. There are other languages as well. Other languages, as in one more language I can show you right now. But now understood by the internet. One is, this one. This is the XML. We will talk about this thing because this will be the raw format of the data you will get in the integration, and you will see every system doesn't understand this thing. Sometimes you need to convert this data into some other format, for example, TXT format, CSV format, or some other .dat format. Any format. That format will be specified by the vendor target system. Here, in this case, if you see, if I need to navigate this thing, this is the root node. This is the root node. And then this is kind of you can understand this as a colony. Like this is the main road. Then you turn to the colony, and in the colony, this is your home, and this is in your home. These are the rooms, and in that room, whoever is assigned, in that room, this is this. You can understand, visualize in that way. Basically, if you need to reach out, if you need to access this employee ID, this is the value. This one is employee ID. If you want this value from this, what you need to do is you need to navigate from the source. This is the source. You navigate like it will be like you will go to report data, then report entry, and then you will find employee ID. You will be able to get this employee ID. When we talk about a dependence on related business objects, what will happen? See here, this report entry. After this report entry, you are getting employee ID directly. This is a direct field because this is on primary business object. But if you want to fetch legal name, first name of dependents, then what you need to do is you need to go report data, then report entry. Then here, you can't go here because this is something is going to fit different value in report entry. You need to go to this dependents group. This dependent group is nothing but your group column heading smell alias name. See, all these fields are coming from your XML alias name. If you see employee underscore ID, first name, last name. If you see your custom report, see all this. These are coming from your group called column heading override summers and alias, and group column heading XML alias is this one is see dependents group, and here employee first name. All these things are coming from here. That's why it plays an important role when you are converting data from one format to another format. Here, a C independence group, you have another. If you need to navigate, if you need to find this McDonald, How exactly you are going to identify is, you will start from report data, then you will go to report entry, then you will go to dependence group, and in that dependence group you will go to legal name, first name. That is how you know grouping happens. Here if you see there is one dependent group and there is another dependent. I think you know this. The multiple dependents for one worker. That's why there are multiple groups. This is how you know groupings happen. If you see, this is another JSON format. This is another JSON format, and in this JSON format it's pretty much clear. Here also, if you see this tag name, these are the tag name. These are the field names which will be used by target system to identify what is the first name of employee, what is the last name of employee, what is the employee head of employee. They are going to use these field names. This tag name which you have configured in XML alias name. Now here if you see this Logan, Minnil is having 3 dependents. All these 3 dependents are grouped together in one dependence group. One dependent where you can see multiple dependent. This one is child, and this one is spouse. These are the things you are going to use. I mean, that dependent, related business object you are going to use, in this way. That's why you need to add, to. Simplify the navigation and groupings. You need to add a related business object in group column headings. If you're not understanding these things in detail, it is absolutely fine. No need to worry about that. I mean, generally, people don't show these things in the initial ways. I am showing you just that you just start, visualizing these are the things you're going to be across in the upcoming sessions. Any further question here? Lakshmi Shalini Garuna, you know the topic. Ganesh, I have a question. Whatever you did in initially like that, the security and all right, yes, all the things. We also need to do everything. Or like how? Yes, basically for each and every integration, whatever you create, you will need to create a new issue, a new security group. How do we know like how to? Yes, that is that is something I'm not going to explain right now, but in upcoming sessions, when we will talk about the Eve, there when we will talk about the integration system, users and all, and there I will explain each and everything in detail, like how exactly you are going to identify the security which is required to be added in that issue. I will let you know. All those things. At this point of time, let us just keep that on hold, and we will discuss in detail. We will be having one complete session for that one only. Now guys, I think in this advanced report, most of the things are clear. You are able to understand. Sorting, filtering, subfilter, prompts, then say a tab, and then advanced tab. What of options there are in advanced sub. You are able to understand most of the things. You are pretty much good in the reporting space. Now let us understand what are the options we have in reporting space. This is your report. This is your report, Lakshmi, and here I mean you have given the report name like this. That's good. You're trying these things, and this is mostly understandable. Now, if you click on this menu related action, you will be able to see many options. Let us start one by one. This is custom report. In custom report, when you need to edit any custom report, you can just click on this edit. Go to related action. Go to custom report. Click on edit. You will be able to edit that report. If you want to edit report directly, you can also type edit custom report in the search box, and you will be able to edit that custom report. There are two options. Yes menu, click on related action, go to custom report, click on edit. You will be able to edit custom report. If you don't want to go in this way, you can also directly type here edit custom report, and you put the report name there, And then also, you will be able to edit a custom report. The next option we have is copy custom report. Here, let's say, this report is a baseline and you need to create. For reports like this one, where a little bit changes you need to do, but most of the report structure will be same. You don't want to, create up every time. You don't want to add each and every field. If you don't want to create 4 new reports and add those, fields and columns 4 times. Instead, what you can do is you can just, go to custom report. You will be having one option of copy custom report, and in this customer, when you will click on this, it will ask you to provide the new report name, and you will be able to create a new report name using this copy function. Then you maintain actual template as something we don't need to discuss. Then we have option run this. This one you already know. Like no, here you have one run option to run a report. This you can click on this, you will be able to run this report. The next is schedule. You can also schedule. Custom report, for example, you created a custom report and every morning 6 am. You want to generate data from that report and you want to share that report with some other person. Let's say we. 5 people are working in one team, and every day we need to check something in that report. Let's say every day some data is getting loaded and something is missing in that data. We are working in a team, and what we need to do is every day someone from us need to check that report data, and whatever quality report has been loaded, we need to correct that. What we are going to do is we will be creating a report. We will create a schedule. This schedule will run report every day, whatever time you will specify. This report will run every day and generate data, and I'm going to trigger that data in your notification box. You can just go and you can check whatever data is for, you can correct that. It's just an example. I'm saying generally, we know business will ask you to a special summary for, let's say, there is one, nomination window is going on and they want to know, like every day, what nominations are happening in the Workday system in this. In those cases, you can, create a custom report. You can schedule. We know that report every day when that person will come, log in, check them my notification that person will be able to understand. Today, 10 people have been nominated for this thing. Tomorrow, another 5 people have been nominated. Then we know again another 5, another 3 people have been nominated on the next day. For those kind of things, generally we used to schedule that report. Now, I think this we were discussing yesterday, only run and taste the taste is something. Say, you have created one report which is generating, many data. In your companies, there are 50,000 workers and even you are running that report. It is taking too much of time and you are just in testing phase. It's not like you are in deployment phase. Basically, when you are in testing there, you don't need 50,000 worker data. You simply need a few rows. 10 or 15 rows, and then you can do the need. For if your data is correct for 10 to 15 rows, then data will be correct for other 50,000 workers as well. When you will click on the minute is it will, we know run for only 10 workers, it will give you the 10 worker details. You can verify the data for those 10 workers and you can get the confidence. That is why we have this. Then yesterday I was explaining one thing in CRT, transfer ownership. There is whenever you create a report, if you go in the CRT, for example, here let's go in the CRT, say report on by. This report is on by Jacqueline. Now let's say we know you want to transfer this report on a ship to a minute. Logan McNeil, you can use this option. Yes, click on this transfer ownership, give the Logan McNeil name, and you will be able to transfer, that report on a ship to Logan McNeil anybody. You can transfer that report to ICU as well, but you can only transfer the report to ICE when ICU will be having enough security to access data from that. At this point, we will discuss some, later, but you can transfer the ownership of the report to anyone in the system, whoever is having access to this report. Now, The last one is delayed. If let's say there is something wrong. No, you don't need this report anymore. You can, use this option to delete report from the system. When you will click on delete, it will be deleted. From what day you won't be able to find this report? Any. I mean, a question in these options, place anyone. Is there any limitation for copying the reports? No, there is no limitation. You can copy and number one a number of times, but you're not going to do that. It's obvious. You're not. Nobody is going to ask you to, copy a number of times report. But you can copy. It says flexible. No, any other question? No, let's go to next. Next is audit. This is audit drill. Audit trail is something, let's say we know someone has created one object in the system. That object is accessed by, other people. That's fine. Now let's say some other people is coming in, that is login in the system and making change in the report. Making change in the report, here in simple terms you can make understand, like if you are creating any object or if anybody is creating any object, if that object has been changed later by you or anyone else. If you want to track those activities, you will be able to see that in audit trail. This one is the best example, not basic example. I think Lakshmi is also using the same profile. I mean a Jacqueline here, all the changes we will be able to see by, Jacqueline names only, but let's say, I start proxy login magnet and I make changes in this report. Let's say I add one field or delete one field, then you will be able to track that in audit trail. Let me show you how it looks like whenever you click on view. Audit trail is, it will ask you the time frame, like from when to when you want to track the changes. Let's say I want to try the changes from 229 to 5 to 56. Let's click on see. This report was created by Jacqueline on 4th of June. The date format is in us. I believe this is 4th of June. Lakshmi has created this report on 4th of June. She added, some of the fields, and then she added another fields dependence, I believe, or yesterday. That is, let's see, when on 4th of June, only she added another of his dependents. Then she has added, a filter, and then she has added, other things. And then if you see, today is, 5th of June, and today I have modified this report. I enable this report as a web service, and see, this report is enabled as a web service, which is done by me, and when exactly I did. I have everything. When exactly this transaction has been entered, you will be having these details, and who exactly has done that is also you will be able to see if you scroll right. Then here you will be able to see which user has done what. If you remove any fields from this report, that will come under this removed will. If you add any fields, that will come under this add bill, and whoever is adding or deleting the bin of fields or making changes in this report, that will be dragged when exactly that person has done make those changes. That is something you will be able to see here in transaction and in entered on. Are you clear with this audit trail? Yes. Now next is calculated field. We have not discussed calculated fill yet. Let us not discuss that thing. But this will be discussed, in, I think, tomorrow's session. Yes, then favorite is something integration ideas. Now in Workday, each and every object is having some integration ID. This integration ID is unique integration ID in Workday. If you click on view IDs, you will be able to see those two IDs. See, there is, these are the reference IDs. This is a work, the ID, and this is the reference ID. All this will be used in the integration. Let's say, if you know you need to call this report in, some studio, and because there's that, another integration tool. We have a studio integration tool, and in that, if you need to call this report, you can call that report using this ID, or custom report ID as well. We know this is unique ID, and this is also something you need to be across. I'll explain you. There are three kind of ideas we have in in work the system, and there are some users of that IDs that will come in the integration space. Now this is layout. Didn't we don't need to discuss that. Then all these options are like we don't need to understand. To be honest, from integration perspective, the another is reporting. I was explaining one day contextual reporting, right? Contextual reporting, like there will be three options. You can create a custom report from here. If you want to see the related reports, related to that this business object, you will be able to say see in this related reports. If you want to know the report fields and value, generally we are not going to use this for any report. If there is any field in the system, we are going to use all these options there. Nobody generally uses this on any report. Actually, this is something you can use. We already discussed in the concept contextual reporting. Then if you need to, if you have a scheduled, we know this report. And if you want to see, like what we know schedule, what is the next run of the schedule? We know what is the timing of that schedule. What is the frequency of the schedule? Then you can go to reports there. You will be able to see schedule, future process. As we have not scheduled this report, yet you won't be able to see anything, but when you will schedule, then you will be able to see some schedule. For this report in a, in a different window, different tab, you can try this thing. I would say, like, in today's session, I will say, like, you can try this edit run copy. You already tried copy. If you have not tried, I will say, like, you can try copying a report. I mean, no run, you have already tried. I will also say, like, we try to schedule a report by yourself. And then I'll show you how to schedule a report. Then, the last thing we need to understand here is, I mean, of web service. Web service is something I showed you, like here. When you will click on view URLs, that will draw to you this window. This window will give you the URLs of different type of formats. Internet. And the second, if multiple languages, one of the languages, XML, one other languages station. If you need to get the URL, like how exactly you can. Other system can extract data from Workday using URL you will be able to use. This one you can click on. You can just do right click, and there you will get two options, copy text and copy URL. When you will click on copy text, that will simply copy this Workday XML. But when you will copy URL, then it will generate money. URL like this. Let me show you. You are like this, and you are going to give this URL to know the another system and the issues which I created. You are going to share those credentials, and they will be able to access data from the Workday in XML format. If they want data in the minute, JSON from it, then I can, you can do just a moment. I'm getting one now. If they want XML format, you can just, copy this URL Workday XML, and you can send them this, URL along with the credentials, and there will be access. They will be able to access data from the Workday system. Now, let's say, if they want data in JSON format, what you can do is you can just click on this again, copy URL, and see when you click on, when you get the URL for JSON format, the format, the URL, will look like this. If I have not till here, everything will be the same. But, after this, the format is JSON. When they will use this link, they will get data in JSON format. JSON format is this format. This is what we call JSON format. Any queue, any question till here? Good, I mean, are you guys understanding everything? Yes, sir. Yes, I mean these are the options. You know we have an area related action and you know we are going to use, all these options based on the requirements. Here, we know we are not changing anything, basically. We are trying to, use this report. Basically, if you want web services URLs, you can just go to web service and you can click on your view URLs and you will be able to see the data. You will. You will be able to see the URLs for different, format of, the raw data, for example, XML, JSON. This one is important when you are considering this work. They're learning for interview. They are going to ask you what exactly, when you enable a report as a web service, then what are all the, languages in which this, this web service can generate data. You can tell them like, there is, one XML format and we have CSV format, RHS format, GData format, station format. You don't need to explain further like what is RSS. What is the data? You can simply say like no, you have never used, but this X, M, L and JSON and CSV. This is something you need to understand. XML, I showed you like how data looks like. This is how XML looks like. This is a raw a raw XML and then another is CSV, something you can click on CSV. There will be one file download it and you will be able to see how CSV file looks like. And similarly JSON, I have already downloaded the station data will look like this and you can, explain, you don't need to explain, but you should be having understanding how JSON data looks like. This is all in the customer. There is one more thing which I need to explain to you guys now. You understood simple custom report and advanced customer for an integration. You are going to use simple custom report and advanced report. Advanced customer report even. When you will start. The working in the company. Then then you are going to create. Mostly this, these took us some reports and if say, let's say if you goes in the reporting domain, then it might be like they ask you to create some matrix reports. Now the last thing which we are going to understand here is we know the custom report. We already understood like simple and at once how it looks like. What are the options we have in, advanced report? What is the difference between simple report and advanced report? What is, a primary business object? What is related business object? How can you, filter on primary business object? How can you apply filter not related business object? All these things, we are clear now. Now there is one thing which I need to show you. Let me do that, create the sum report. Here we know when you type create the sum report, then you eat the report name. You give the data source and you're able to create simple and advanced report. Now here, if you scroll, there are some other kind of reports as well. We have discussed simple report and advanced report, but there are some, other reports as well. For example, matrix of. First of all, you need to remember all these 8 kind of reports. You need to remember all these 8 kind of reports and let me just comment this one and no worries. You, I. If you want. You can take another screenshot of this one because when you are explaining the 8 type of custom report, this is someone asks you what are the type of reports we can create in Workday. There are total 8 type of reports. There are total 8 type of reports: simple report, advanced report, matrix report, search report, transport report, inbox, trending and composite report. This is better. You take the screenshot, or if let's say there is one option of chat. Let me just send this in this chat you. It's not allowing me to paste everything. You guys can copy and paste this thing. I have test this in the chat. Basically, these are the definitions of those 8 kind of reports. Simple report, you already know. I don't need to explain anything. Support, you already understood. I mean, what exactly that one support? I don't need to explain anything in matrix reports. Basically, matrix is generally kind of, custom analytics reports. Custom analytics report, what does that mean? That means like you want to create a report and you want to visualize that report in a chart or in some kind of histogram. Then then you're going to use matrix reports to see. A matrix report type forms the foundation of custom analytics. This is mainly used by for the analytics for their system. This report will not be used by the integration. That's why we generally don't cover all this kind of reports. But this is mainly used for the analytics purpose in Workday system. It allows you to group data, summarize metrics for those groupings, and then allows the user for the drill down into summarizations by other dimension or fail. What this means is basically when you create a custom report, there will be some fields. In matrix report, what you can do is you can make those fields at 3 level. Here in the report, let me run this report once. Here in this report, see all these are data. You are not able to click on this one, and you are not able to even click on this one in matrix report. You can make this not real level here. Also, if you use single instance fail, I mean you will get options to just open in a new window, but you can't trail for each and every fields there in matrix report. When you will get the output. You can make those fields reliable. Reliable means you can click on this face and whatever details you want to see for this field, you will be able to see. For example, this is the name of the worker. This is the employee ID. Now when you want to click, when you will click on this one, you want to see, is the date of work, the hire date of that worker. You can enable that feature in the matrix report. You will be having options to click on this field, to click on this instant click on this value when you will. When you will click on this value, that will pop up another window, and in that another window you will be able to see the fields which you have configured to drill down. That is what is matrix report. I'll try to get one matrix report and I'll show you how exactly that looks like, but that you can visualize. I think I am having one. Can you see? This screenshot report types. Can you see now? See, matrix report looks like this. Matrix report. In Magic Support, you can generate data in tabular form as well. You can generate data, in this pie chart form as well, and everything will be clickable. Basically here, if you see this orange button, sorry, not orange, part even, you will click on this orange, but it will give you some options, and in that option, you will be able to drill down. You will be able to understand more details. This is how matrix, report looks like. Advanced report. You already know how that looks like. Then there are some search reports. To search reports are, look like this. Here, if you go type find worker, this is kind of search report. Here you can, just mention any individual name. You will be able to search. Also, you can, you can design something like this. Sort of. I mean, you can, this is something like when you are doing shopping in Flipkart and Amazon. There, you will, you will be having filter options, right? This is something now you can design in the search report. Here you have one option to search the individual directly, and then you have options to filter based on the reason, based on the status, based on the country. There are many fields here. Based on this phase, you will be able to, search the data. We are not going to design, this for, search type of report anyways. Even I don't know how to design, to be honest, but this is how it looks like. There is no use of integration. Mainly these are, something used by the functional people. Even they don't, design this report. They generally use report which has been configured by Workday. This is how search support looks like. Then we know we have trending reports, or trending report looks like this one. Trending report looks like this one. If you want to understand the trend, like how exactly in which year, how many employees are leaving this company, in which year, in which month. How many employees are joining this company. If you want to understand that kind of trend, you can use, we know the trending report. Then a transpose is something it's like if you want to use fill as a column, this go to the definition here. See a transpose. Report type interchange the rows and corresponding columns. It's like in actual, let's say this one is Excel. This is. This is in horizontal way. This is the face. If you want this, if you want to interchange rows and columns, what you can do is you can just copy and then there you paste as a transpose one. Your rows become columns here. Your rows become columns here. This is what we know. This transposer. Sorry, this transpose report type is, we are not going to create up near this kind of report. This is just for your understanding purpose. Sometimes people may ask you. Then we have inbox report, and the inbox report type const data and displays the result in two-dimensional matrix. Here, if they have shown inbox, it's not clear. I'll try to get some different screenshot, but you just, understand the definition. Like, inbox report type const data and display the result in two-dimensional matrix. Two-dimensional matrix you understand, right? Like in a horizontal and vertical, then trending report. We have discussed and composite. But in composite report, basically you can use multiple data sources. In general, in simple report or in advanced report, you can't use multiple data sources. But in composite report, you will be able to use multiple data sources. See, the definition is a composite report type, allows you to combine several existing matrix reports into one report. Each matrix report is considered a sub-report, and each matrix report can have its own data source. The resulting composite report can then show data across multiple data sources if each matrix sub-report uses a different data source. What this means simple terms. This is composite. This composite report. You can add multiple matrix reports. Let's see. If you want to see pie chart, if you want to see, this, tabular form data from, some different matrix report, pie chart from different matrix report. You can combine all those reports into one composite report, and that will show you. It's a kind of, dashboard kind of thing where you are able to see everything in your system. And like, for one domain, for example, benefits people, they want to see, the analytics, whatever is happening, whoever is enrolling and all, then all those things can be combined in just one composite report. Again, we are not going to create composite report. This is just for your information purpose, guys. I mean, if you have not saved this, let me know. I can save this file and I will try to share this over chat as well. Or if you have already taken screenshot and then I'm not going to share this, have you taken the screenshot? Lakshmi Salini Karunarupik? Yes, we did. Yes, I'm not sharing. In that case, basically these are all the things we have in custom report. Mainly the other 6 type of reports in it. You just need to understand the definition, and you don't just need to understand the definition. You need to remember this definition. When you will start working, nobody is going to ask you, but when you will, apply for any job role. Whether inside your company or outside your organization, they are going to. They may ask this kind of questions, explain like no water. You know what kind of reports we have when we create a custom report, and we know what those type of reports are. But there you need to remember there are 8 types of report we have when we create a custom report, and we know mostly we use, simple report. Mostly we use advanced report only. You can also, I know you have simple report at once, and then matrix search and whatever other report types you have. With this, I'm closing the reporting part. I mean, we will keep, keep looking into reports when we talk about the integration there. Also this report, all this kind of reports will be used, and we know we will keep talking about that. But from reporting the middle build perspective, we have been covered almost everything. From tomorrow onwards, we are going to discuss calculated fields. We will start calculated fields. If you know, just do them. Do the practice you know. Try to explore something in this advanced report, and tomorrow. One more thing. Do we know the activities? Whatever you know I'll just frame those activities in Word file in this meeting. I think that the chat option is enabled. I am able to save the file as well. I'll say that activity file with you. You can, do the practice by yourself. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel.